Hey guys, back again to talk about more silliness going on among Christians. Now, I don't know who this guy is, but it doesn't matter, because my goal is to deal with content, not genetic fallacies or attempting to poison the well for my listeners. So, this video is getting shared around social media like crazy, and as is our custom, Christians are in hysterics over it. So let's take a look at the comment section here. This person said, he's the Antichrist. This guy wants to punch him in the face. And yes, you guessed it. Somebody calls him a heretic. So let's hear what all the hubbub is about. Roll it.
The healing power of God, the restoring power of God, the same power that made demons flee was in Nazareth, but Jesus could not release it because it was trapped in their unbelief. And there's one thing that even Jesus can't do. One thing that even the Son of God can't do. Even Jesus cannot override your unbelief. I see y'all looking at me like, is that true? Thought he could do anything. He said he could not. He wanted to, he was prepared to, he was able to, and he couldn't. The power of God was in Nazareth, but it was trapped in their perspective.
Okay, so before I make my central point, I just want to say that when I first saw this video, it's obvious he's referring to a text from the Bible. Yet the video clip doesn't include the reference. So I start to get outraged that whoever it is that made this clip decided to take his statements out of their context and not so much as even cite the passage he's teaching from. Then I realized something. It came from his own page. So just a shout out to whoever it is that's making these videos. Maybe work on that editing just a tad. Now, the passages he's referring to in the video are from Matthew 13, where we find Jesus in his hometown of Nazareth. The locals were so familiar with him and his family that they became offended. Verse 58 says, "Now he did not do many mighty works there because of their unbelief." So you may be thinking, see, it doesn't say he couldn't do any mighty works. It just says he didn't do any mighty works. And that's true, but then this same story is recounted in Mark 6:5. Now he could do no mighty work there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. New English translation says, he was not able to do a miracle there, except to lay his hands on a few sick people and heal them. So Mark tells us he couldn't do it, and Matthew tells us he didn't do it because of their unbelief. So what Furtick is saying is essentially true. It does indeed say Jesus could not perform a miracle and that he did not due to unbelief. Now, a lot of people get all huffy about that because they don't like hearing that there are some things God can't do. As this guy said, he's attacking God's sovereignty. I can't speak to that. I'm just pointing out what the text says. I have no vested interest in what people think it will do to their understanding of God. None. That's the great thing about not being married to any set of ideas. When you find something in the Bible, you can simply embrace it, instead of panicking to come up with some alternative explanation or attacking other people for simply pointing it out. The scientific community figured this out a long time ago when it comes to observing nature. A hypothesis or theory always must remain open to adapting to new information. If new data surfaces, then adjustments need to be made. The Bible should be to the Christian what nature is to the scientist. It exists, and it's true. But this doesn't mean we understand it all. And new discoveries, if they can be observed, should be welcomed instead of being seen as a threat. As James says, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Control those emotions, guys. Thanks for watching.